Hey guys, it's Ty's Tech back with another video, and you are looking at 10 years of Android phones. Starting with the Kyocera Hydro Wave. This is running Android 5. This is the Motorola G7 Play, which is running Android 10. And this is my Google Pixel 7a, which of course is running Android 15. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest, it's technically running Android 16, but I don't have any of the beta features turned on, and the complete features haven't come out yet as the Pixel 10 hasn't released, so it's basically just Android 15. So bear with me on that. The first thing I want to look at between all these three phones is the UI and design. Starting with the lock screen, here we have the Kyocera Hydro Wave. Pretty basic, just a clock and some notifications. We've got a few things up at the top here that show us battery, network, etc. If we go ahead and open it, we get to the home screen, which we can compare to the Android 10 phone. And then, last but not least, my phone. And you can clearly see a difference between these phones. I mean, just look at the icons. You can tell the Android 5 has way more skeuomorphic design. These are a lot flatter and a lot more boring, which honestly comes down to preference. I think this looks a lot cleaner, but there's something charming about the Android 5. However, over here, you can tell a main difference with the newer versions of Android is I can have skins for my apps. So without the skins, they do look similar to the Android 10 ones, if not the exact same, but this is a nice little customizability feature. Something else that should hopefully be a big difference between these three phones is the AI assistant that these come with. Over here, we'll start with the Kyocera Hydro Wave. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? You can tell it missed a few words there. Woodchuck could chuck, yeah, it is struggling. And it doesn't really give a great answer. It just kind of searches it on Google. Next, we have this, Android 10. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And the first thing we get is the AI overview, which, I don't know, whatever, there's something to that. Next, and lastly, we have my phone, which is going to come equipped with Google Gemini. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
A woodchuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
So, between these three answers, it kind of depends on what you're going for. Because this one has some humor to it. It's not really giving a serious answer, mostly because it's not a serious question. This one just Googles it, essentially, and baked into Google is the AI overview, which kind of tells you, I don't know, maybe a more serious answer. This one was kind of just lost and didn't really know either what to do. So, honestly, I'm going to give that to Google Gemini on Android 15. Lastly, but not leastly, I want to check camera quality. Because interestingly, as time has gone on, phone cameras have focused more on the AI processing of those images more than the raw megapixel or the camera's sensors themselves. So I kind of want to see how that could be interesting. Beginning with the Kyocera Hydro Wave, which you can barely even see in this sun. Let's snap a photo. Alrighty. Next up is the Moto G7. Let's get this camera app opened. And let's snap a photo. But wow, is this driveway hot. Lastly, we'll use my phone, which is the first one you can actually see in the screen. See the screen this time. Open the camera, and let's see what we can get. All right, let's check those out. Now I want to get a more in-depth look at the UI, design, and apps, etc. So let's go ahead and open this phone up. And if we take a look at the software we're running, there's a lot of apps. We can see the design is a lot more boxy. You can tell with the Google search logo up here, pulling down the quick access. Everything's kind of boxy. Animations are nowhere to be seen. And again, all the apps are kind of just their own thing. If we pull up the app drawer, I mean, just look at this mess. Nothing is uniform or the same. It's just kind of whatever you want. Which, I mean, sure, there might be an audience for this, but in my taste, it does not look that amazing. Next, we're going to look at Android 10, and I do apologize. The screen on this phone is totally wrecked, which is why I got it for free. So please bear with me on that. But this design is a lot more round. As you can tell, everything is circular, and you have the Google search being kind of a pill shape, as well as this circular clock and charging animation. Pulling down the drop-down menu, everything has a slight rounds to it. Nothing crazy, but nearly not as square as the last one. And yeah, it's pretty uniform. Pretty much everything is a circle, except for Amazon Prime Video for some reason. Get with the times, buddy. But honestly, this software is clean, and it works well for the time period. But in my opinion, it does not come anywhere near that of Android 15. I mean, just look at this lock screen. That looks so nice. You can customize so much about this lock screen. And the icons, you can change the look of them. It runs an algorithm to just do this to app icons. It's so cool. The app drawer, it's very reminiscent of Android 10 for sure, with all the circular icons. But I don't know, I just feel like it does it better, as well as also having dark mode, which I probably could have turned on Android 10, but that's my fault. And it's true that animations are still kind of lacking, but there's definitely something here. It's not just flat. Although, from what I hear, Android 16 is going to have quite the animation overhaul, and I am very hyped for that. But yeah, overall, these operating systems are very good for their time. Honestly, I like them all. They have their own charm to them, but of course I'm going to stick with Android 15, or technically Android 16. But that's my opinion. I want to hear your opinion. Let me know in the comments below which of these you think looks the best, has the most character, etc. Which one you started with, maybe, or closest to started with. And let me know in the comments below what kinds of videos you want to see from me in the future. This has been Titus Tech. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.